just got finished doing a little bit of cleaning up at my parents' house. That storm that came through this past weekend that I showed you guys in the last video, it left a couple of trees down at their house. So we were down there just kind of cleaning up the yard, getting all the mess out the way. So that's why you see me now in the dirty shirt. But that's just how I have to be until I get back to my house and get settled down. But anyway, in the middle of me helping out my parents, the plumber and the guy who was redoing my floors, he just gave me a call and let me know that the new floors are in. So I'm about to head out to that rental property and see what the new floors look like. And while I'm in the area, I'm gonna go and check out another house that I have under contract. And this is one of the houses that was part of a 7-house deal that I talked about in a previous video too. One of the houses has already been sold and now I'm working on this one. I have a buyer that's going out there today to check it out, but I haven't seen the house yet, so I'm gonna drive by to get a couple of pictures and a walkthrough video. But before I do all of that, I have to go ahead and write a check to my private lender so he can get paid. Alright guys, we're back on the road now, about to get the middle of the day kicked off. So I've had a few people to reach out to me and comment on my videos. I've had a few people to send me messages, emails and everything, ask me how I got started in real estate. And to answer some of you guys' questions, yes, what I do in real estate for the most part is no money down options, where you can actually do this without having to have a lot of money. And to be completely honest, it's pretty much the ground level as far as starting off as a real estate investor. Like I said, you really don't need any money to do it. It is a way to get started, and while some people think that it's more or less just a way for beginners to get in, there are people and groups who have made large companies around doing this, what's called wholesale real estate. But hopefully soon I'll do a complete video walking you guys through one of my wholesale real estate deals and explain the process in more detail. But until then, I'm going to leave the links to a few books showing you guys how to get started with wholesale real estate. And I'll also leave a link in the description for the first online course that I went through to show me how to scale my wholesale real estate business and get a little bit more out of what I was doing. It was a way for me to get off of my full-time job as a teacher, and I did a whole video on that. The salary that I was making as a teacher, I had done that in like half a year. And then once that I saw it could be done and I had the money saved up to go ahead and just further my business, I was out after that and I was in it full-time. But at the same time, I'm also looking to expand my tool set as far as just real estate, because there's so many different ways to take it. Even with wholesale real estate, I mean, that was something that I didn't know that you could do as far as flipping contracts. And you can do this without even having to have a bunch of money. So when I first got started, I didn't have a bunch of money in the bank. I actually sold my truck, got a used Chevy Aveo, it was like a 2006, just so I could get from one place to the other. Use what I learned, and next thing I know, I had generated $1,500 just off of pure grind. And even though that check wasn't huge, I saw my check starting to increase to the point where I was getting $5,000 and then $8,000, a couple of $9,000 checks. And then that got me to the point to where I actually bought some houses, got a couple of rental properties, and the whole thing has just allowed me to network more and get with people who have several times more money than I have, but I'm learning all these things from them, and that's the level that I'm trying to get to. All right, guys, we're over here at the house that's under contract, and the sellers or the owners, they thought that only so much work had to be done. And again, they're sellers that don't live here in the United States. They're from New Zealand, and I don't think they're aware of the work that needs to be done on it. But for one, the house wasn't secure. There was an open window here. AC unit is gone. And I don't know how these thieves do it, but even if you build a cage, and I guess they just got the lock off the cage, but a lot of times these cages really mean nothing to them, so they get into the cages, steal the AC units, and that's that. But we're gonna go and check out the inside. And they actually gave me the code for the lockbox so I could get in, but I don't think that they were aware. But I can get in anyway, so. Inside of the house. Now, I think for this one, they were just thinking that there were some plumbing issues where a pipe burst and they had to replace the carpet. But the carpet, even if the pipe hadn't burst, this carpet is old. So it was going to need to come out anyway. But just a bunch of other different cosmetic stuff that needs to be done. Definitely has to be cleaned out. for what my buyer wants to do with this, a lot of this stuff will have to be upgraded as far as the kitchen and everything. Some of these doors need to be rehung. See, we've got some super old heating units. And those are throughout the house. But that needs to be upgraded. Especially for this area where a lot more people are starting to upgrade the houses. But looks like they got the furnace out of the house. So that unit's gone. That's one of the first ones to go. That and the AC unit, they usually get those first. Bathroom needs to be updated. Got some other cosmetic issues. I'm going to show you guys a good indication that the roof needs to be replaced. If you look at the ceiling, you see all of these spots, just these big wet spots. And that usually means that the roof needs to be replaced. But I'm going to go ahead and head out, guys, and we'll see about this one. The price will probably have to be negotiated down some in order for them to sell this one, because I think they've been trying to sell it for a while, at least for a couple of years. I know they fixed it up, rehabbed it, rented it out, and the tenants just never stick around for too long. So we'll see what we can do with it. All right, guys, we're over here at the rental property checking out the new floors. Old ones are out and the new ones look a lot better with the wall color. So I'm gonna turn the camera around. But I actually like this color a lot better with the walls. So I don't know, you guys can let me know what you think. I like this lighter color better than the darker one that was in here first, but I'll try to do a side by side. And the good thing about this one, we have some leftover materials, so definitely about to go and get that refund. All right, so that's just a couple of the side-by-side pieces. The darker color, that's what just came out. And then of course the lighter color is what went in. All right, guys, I'm back in my house now, about to get something to eat and get cleaned up and head back out in a little bit. Before the day is over with though, I'm gonna get my wife to get on camera and talk about the deal that she's working on now. Like I mentioned before, she is licensed now, so she's an important part of the business. And she's picking up things fast and learning a lot and actually teaching me a lot about what's going on the agent side. Guys, I'm back at the house now, and like I was saying earlier, I was going to get my wife to talk about, I guess, some of the real estate agent side of the business. And now she's got me kind of stressing out because she's working through a deal now. And I'll have to let her talk about it because it's one that just got canceled out pretty much. But she'll let you guys know what's going on with that. Hopefully we can go ahead and save this one.
So, of course, you know, I just let you know that they sent back a contract stating that they would rather do the mutual release. And I kind of want to know where to go, you know, from that. The mutual release was kind of like a backup in the event that we did not go forward with the inspection inspection period. I'm sorry. So just trying to figure out, you know, what route to take next, or what would be the smartest route to take.
Okay, so just email them back. You can attempt to do a phone call, but email would be the option to exercise. Go ahead and email them back and ask them, is there anything that you can do to establish the deal? Let them know that the seller understands their position and is willing to sign the form if a deal cannot be made, but the seller is ready to negotiate and would like to know if they have any other offer that they're willing to put on the table to make it work.
Okay.
So there's probably a number that would make the deal make sense to them.
Okay.
You just want to get what that number is.
Gotcha.
Yes. And you can make it work.
All right, well, we'll do our best to make it work.
Sounds good.
All right.
In the meantime, continue to market. The people that have shown the property, give them a phone call and ask if they can give you feedback on the showing. Ask them what do they feel about the condition of the property. Ask them what do they feel about the price of the property, you know, the location. Just see if you can get some feedback. So those things are things that you can use to determine if you need to make some adjustments in the marketing that you're doing.
Okay.
So, if you kept the list, which I'm sure you had, text messages, emails, just call those people back and just start asking for feedback. And you can use that to also assess your position where you are right now.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll get it done.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right, so what's going on with the deal?
All right, well, this deal I'm working on, property I listed, I got quite a few calls on it, people that wanted to show things of that nature, and all of a sudden, we get a hit on it. Someone wants to put a contract on it, cash buy, and we go ahead, sign up our purchase agreement, and we seal it with a binding agreement date, which means all parties agree to every term in the contract. They have a 10-day inspection period, today being that 10th day, and I received an email today stating that they need to extend that period. I called the office and asked, what's the reason for the extension? They go, system glitch. Reports aren't running to generate the inspection report. So I go, okay, well, that's fine. And by the end of today, I just, like shortly before I walked in my house, I got the email that they would prefer to sign a mutual release. And now I'm like, wow.
So now they want to cancel the deal out, and we need to find out what we have to do.
So I'm gonna give them a call on Monday, try to get as much info as I can on why, and see if we can save our deal.
All right, guys, but that's it. Like I said, we're probably over here stressing out over nothing because we had plenty of room to work this deal with. So she's about to get on top of trying to get this deal closed out, ready to be done with this one too, as well as any other deal. We want to just close them out as quick as we can, but I mean, stuff like this pops up, and that's just the world of real estate. But if you like these videos, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to grow the page. We really appreciate all the subscribers that we've got over the past couple of months. We're about to hit that 20,000 subscriber mark, so pushing for that. See you guys next time. Peace.